Hola a todos. Just going to talk you through some of these slides on the PowerPoint and hopefully answer any questions that you might have about Spanish GCSE at the Thomas A. Lane Academy. So we chose Spanish as it's proved very popular year on year as we've been teaching languages at the Thomas A. Lane Academy. And it's also much more worldwide, perhaps, than other choices of subject of language to learn. So, for example, not just Spain that speaks Spanish, but most of Central and South America have Spanish as their first language, obviously with the exception of Brazil, which speaks Portuguese. And also, around about 75% of the world don't have any English at all. So going forward with a hope to travel perhaps and explore the world, Spanish has proved to be a very popular choice with our students. So the GCSE in a language is comprised of 5 themes, as you can see there in the blue box, and we also focus on 4 key skills: speaking and listening, reading and writing. And during the GCSE, you'll refine all of those 4 skills in the language, and they'll be tested at the end of year 11. There's no coursework in Spanish, and the GCSE is 100% exam based. So the GCSE is split into 2 tiers. There's foundation tier, which covers grades 1 to 5, and there is a higher tier which covers grades 4 to 9, obviously with an overlap in the middle there. All 4 skills will be taken in the same tier, and each is worth 25%. A student's final tier will be decided on a combination of things. So indicator grade is obviously up there as well, depending on what that is. Your general progress in lessons in Key Stage 4, and your mock examination results in the autumn of year 11. So all those things are taken into account when your tier is chosen, and all our lessons are currently mixed ability. So what does GCSE in Spanish actually look like, and what kind of person do you need to be in order to be successful? So strong translation skills both into Spanish and out of Spanish back into English. Spontaneous conversation skills, so the confidence to perform those. The ability to analyse written text, so very good literacy skills as well is required. Thorough knowledge of grammar, and the willingness to learn the grammar rules as well, very important, and the ability to use several different tenses so that you can expand your work. You need to be very well organised because there's a lot of content. Homework needs to be completed fully and on time, and you also need to be able to take good quality notes during your lessons so that you have something really solid to look back on when you come to prepare for your final exams. Okay, so I think this slide pretty much speaks for itself. So just an overview of the 4 skills there in a bit more detail. You'll be assessed in a range of different ways for all of those. So just have a look through those descriptions when you have a moment. So multiple choice figures quite highly in the reading and listening, also gap fills and short responses in English or slightly longer responses depending on the tier that you're doing. Speaking is a photo task that you have to describe, a little role play, and then a short prepared presentation of your choice. That's followed by a general conversation on 2 themes. And the writing, again, writing for different purposes and audiences. You'll have a chance to write slightly shorter, slightly longer texts, and then there's a translation into Spanish to complete at the end of that writing exam. So just to summarise, I do hope that's given you a little bit more of an insight into the GCSE in Spanish. If you know anybody who's recently done the GCSE, then obviously speak to those people. They're the best people to talk to you about it and their own experience. So if you have any friends or family who've done it, then by all means go and have a chat with them. The new GCSE, well, new since 2016, it really does focus on relevant content for young people. It has a purpose, and it is aimed in firing up your interests and giving you the chance to talk about things that you're passionate about. So, for example, social media, bigger world issues such as poverty, social events, things like festivals, music and film, and your own school life. So you get a chance to learn about not just your own experience there, but also see how those things are across the Spanish-speaking world as well. And students do find those things really interesting on the whole. It's always interesting to find out what goes on in other parts of the world. Spanish is spoken by just short of 600 million people around the world, so it is a valuable GCSE to have. It's spoken across 20 countries, And also from a further education point of view, many universities are now asking for a GCSE in a language to have that on your CV when you apply to university. So it really is worthwhile considering if you are going to go down that route later on. If you have any questions at all or want to ask me anything that I haven't included in here, please pop me an email on the address on the screen and I will get back to you with whatever you need to know. All right, thank you very much for listening.